daughter. I've been tasked to let you know that her granddaughters are also here. My oldest daughter, Amelia, took a lot of the pictures that you saw in the slideshow, if you saw the slideshow. Selena is singing in a couple of numbers, and Ella will be speaking towards the end of the show. It's really fitting that we're celebrating the end of my mom's time teaching here at Ensworth with story and song, because stories and songs are an integral part of who my mom is and has always been. My childhood was full of the stories she told me, mostly about family. Even though my papa died before I was born and we lived far away from the rest of Mom's family, they all felt alive and close to me through the stories that Mom told me about them. From the story of how Papa was given the choice of either going to jail or becoming deputy sheriff. He became deputy sheriff. To the story about how during World War II, when people were living on rations, my uncle brother, while sleepwalking, peed on the big bag of sugar that my mama had saved all of her ration stamps to buy. And as always, there was singing. Mom sang me to sleep at night, the usual lullabies, and then my favorites, I've Got Spurs That Jingle, Jangle, Jingle, and Don't Fence Me In. You may not know that my mom and her brother Butch were part of a singing group when they were in high school called the Mellow Macs. When I was growing up, any time with extended family was largely spent with us gathered around Uncle Butch playing his guitar with everyone else singing. Just like many of you, I had my mom as my high school English teacher. But of course, Mom has been teaching me my whole life with her life. I'll keep this brief so we can get on with the show, but I would like to share a couple of things that Mom has taught me with her life, things that relate to some of what you'll see in the show tonight. When I was 3 years old, we moved to Maine, and Mom got a job teaching at the high school in our little town. When she discovered that there had never been a girls' basketball team there, she started one. Not only did she start one, but she coached them to state champions, all of which I thought was just normal. My mom has always taught me, and I know that for some of you who are younger, this may not seem so unique, but she taught me that there were no limitations on what I could be because of being a female. She always told me, you can be whatever you want to be in life, except a cheerleader. When I was 3 years old, in our Maine town when I was growing up, the only diversity really was in the form of a few French Canadians. But by the time I was 5, Mom had me reading biographies of George Washington Carver and Frederick Douglass. Although it would be a long time before I would be able to articulate it, Mom was teaching me the importance of learning people's stories in order to understand them. My cousin Brady, who's just 4 years younger than my mom, wrote a poem about the time that he refers to as the time Myra almost got me killed. I asked him to tell me a little more about this event, and this is what he wrote to me. I think it was 1963. I know it was before King's I Have a Dream speech. We were at a lake in Arkansas. There were 100 or more people there when 4 young black men came down from a picnic table on a hillside and went into the water. Almost immediately, everyone else was out of the lake. There were a few black adults at the picnic table, and a crowd was forming around them. Myra said to me, "Come on, Brady, let's see what's going on." When we got there, a group of men were explaining to the black adults that this was a private lake and they weren't members. Myra interposed at this point, saying it was a public lake and they had every right to be there. Then she said to me, "Come on, Brady, let's join them." And I did. I walked down the hill to the lake and swam out to the dock where they were, said something like, "Hey guys," and swam back. When I got out of the water, a crowd of people gathered around me. I did think they were going to kill me there for a second, but for some reason I wasn't all that afraid. Also, I wouldn't have gone if Myra hadn't said to. It just wouldn't have dawned on me to do so. All my life, I've assumed, because I've watched my mom do it over and over again, that the thing to do always is to show up and to speak up for what's right. The thing is, my mom had left her tiny little hometown, which was really just one street. She had gone to college, she had studied history and politics, but I think the main reason she so transcended the prejudices of the culture of her youth was that she listened to people's stories. And when you've really listened to people's stories, they cease to be other. And when we understand that there is no other, it changes everything. When I was little, one of my very favorite stories about my mom was this one. Mom was 4 years old, and she and her older brother Butch and several friends were playing by the creek when Paul Allen, who couldn't swim, fell in. Butch and the older kids panicked and took off to run back home for help. In the meantime, Mom, who couldn't swim either, calmly grabbed a big branch, extended it out to Paul Allen, told him to grab on, and pulled him in, saving his life. When I've thought about what I wanted to say tonight, that story kept coming to mind. I think it's because we look around at the world we live in, and sometimes we can be tempted to panic for all kinds of reasons. It seems that hatred has bubbled up to the surface all over the place. We're tired, and we're not sure what the future has in store. But for today, for right now, we're here. Mom has written this show for us. Grab on and let yourself be pulled to shore.